you've got to get yourself ready. You've got to get yourself ready. You got to get your house in order, your physical house in order, your financial house in order, your spiritual house in order. When the collapse comes, it is going to be very, very painful. You are going to feel it because they are going to collapse the whole entire system, the whole entire monetary system, the whole entire the way we've been operating for years. They're going to roll in the new system. And in order to roll in the new system, they're going to collapse this system. And you may say, well, it's not going to affect me. You are going to feel it. Already, good morning. Already, there are some insurance plans. Say you have insurance, medical insurance, and you have opted for a high deductible. There's some deductibles, you know, you got like maybe a 6,000 some odd deductible that you have to meet before, you know, they pay your hospital bills and stuff. Some insurance plans now, they will not pay your prescriptions. If you have really expensive prescriptions and you have a high deductible, they are requiring you to meet that high deductible before they pay for your prescriptions. It's coming. I promise you, it's going to be very painful the way that they got everything planned out. And it's been planned out like this for years. This collapse that is coming, it is going to be very painful. It is. You may not think beyond that, but it is. They're going to bring this whole financial system down. They have thought of so many ways to get the people who think they're not going to be got to come after them. They're going to come after you financially. They're going to hit everybody in their pockets. They're going to do it. You're going to get punished for having here's how it is. You got to think of that verse in the Bible. Do not give me too much. Do not give me too little, but give me only my daily bread. Just give me what I need. Otherwise, if I have too much, I may forget about the Lord and says, who is the Lord? Or if I have too little, I may then steal and so dishonor the name of my Lord, my God. It's going to come down to that, you all. You've got to get yourself ready. You know, a lot of people are on Medicare. They are. They're going to do something to Medicare. I've been seeing it in the news. I don't know what this administration is going to do to the Medicare people, the cuts in the Medicare that's coming. Even if you don't have it, if you have an insurance plan, some companies are requiring you now to reach your deductible before they pay for your insurance. And some people may have very high medicine that they take. They're going to make you pay that out of your pocket first. So you reach that whatever 60, whatever, some odd thousand, whatever, you may have a 2,000 something out of your pocket, a 6,000 something out of your pocket. They're going to make you reach it before they start paying for your prescriptions. It's going to be painful. And Gina, you're gloom and doom. No, I'm speaking reality. We are in for a financial collapse on all levels, and economic collapse. There's going to be like nothing that is left untouched, nothing, before it's all said and done, because they are going to have they're going to have it, you all. Good morning. Let me see. It will be the same, yes, Mickey, all over the world. Yeah. Don't think that you're going to escape the pains of death, a very painful death, spiritually speaking, when it comes to that. It's like empires. When empires collapse, it's extremely, extremely painful if you look back in history. And then there's a there's something about the reason Rome collapsed was because of all the taxes. It literally brought down the Rome. This is worldwide. It is worldwide, but there are some insurance companies here in the United States. They're now requiring people to do that, and it's wrong. It's wrong. There's some people who said I can't even afford to buy my medicine now. They can't. They cannot afford to buy their medicine because their insurance companies are not subsidizing or putting money toward it until they meet their deductible. And the insurance companies, the government controls them too. It does. You may not see the invisible hand of the government, but you will see it before it's all said and done. You will. And no, you all, it's going to be a painful collapse. And this collapse that's coming, they may have even sped up the collapse. Reality, I promise you, reality will soon start setting in. And it's already setting in on some people. It's going to really set in. And it's bad enough that when you go to the grocery, the groceries are higher. The cards have been stacked against the people on earth. They have. It's like out with the old, in with the new. But they're looking 3 generations away. 3 generations away to make it a better world. Not just for their children and then their grandchildren, but for the great grandchildren afterward. That's their, and it's going to be painful. It was 7:57 when I looked at that. Let me see this. It's astonishing. The moon and the sun, perfect size. Hello, Applebrook's honey. It's okay. Oh, they are. They're going to speed it up. It's cold in Maine. I actually went outside, and before I did the live stream late last night, my daughter had this frost cover blanket that she uses in the greenhouse at times. I asked her, is it going to be big enough to go on the lower garden to cover up that the cabbage, the collards, and the kale, that purple stuff, chard that I planted. She said it should be, and it was. So I went out there and I covered them up, and there's frost on the stuff. There was supposed to be a hard freeze in this area, and then I think it's going to get down colder tonight. You are going to be very, just, you may not feel it right now. That's coming, the collapse. It's already happening. They have it's been put in motion, but they are speeding it up. After all, they were behind schedule. Remember? For some reason, the agenda got behind schedule when they met. I think it was like 2 years behind schedule, and they said they got to speed it up to get back on schedule. Something threw a monkey wrench into their plans. That's what they said. They're speeding it up. You're going to feel it. It's going to be a painful collapse. And it's already starting, and people are starting to feel the pain of it. They're going to collapse the whole entire system before it's all said and done. You may say, I don't feel nothing. You will feel it. You may not be affected right now, but you're going to be affected. And that's the only way to, according to them, according to our current, when he was, he said, make no mistake, we will level the playing field. That's when he said, when he was, they're doing it. And you know how long ago that was when he was that. But it's been put in motion ahead of time. There's been key players. And they are going to do it. And then when they finally do it, they'll be able to usher in their, what was that money they're going to give people? Everybody's going to have some kind of income. Oh, universal basic income. That means everybody on the earth. You're going to get a universal basic income is what you're going to get. But in order to do that, they got to crash this system worldwide, the whole entire system. And you know the system that's coming in. It is the digital system. It's the digital currency and stuff. And when they start following through, when they say they're going to say if you own your home, you have a 401k, they already got the plans written for that, where they will tax you based on the value of your home. And I'm not just talking raising taxes, but it may be coming, because a lot of people with their property taxes, I've been seeing people, their property taxes have doubled than what they were last year. And they will tax you on the value of your 401ks if you got them. You'll have to pay a tax on it, even though you don't take it out. Just the mere fact of you having it, that's part of leveling the playing field. It's part of it. They've got to change everything. They got to change the tax laws. Everything has got to be revamped, reorganized, and they're doing it. I could not believe it about the prescription for people. If you have a high deductible, some insurance company are requiring you to meet that high deductible before they will even pay for your prescriptions. And there are people who are writing into some of these websites where you can go, saying they can't even afford their prescriptions now, because it's not about what's best for you at this point. It's what's best for the future. And in order to change the future, you got to start your change right now. And change at times, it's painful. Growing. If you are going to spiritually grow in your life, get ready for some spiritual pain, some physical, worldly pain, emotional pain. When you got to grow, it's very painful. And you got to go through the pain in order to learn your lessons, and grow beyond it. To the healing, it's cause and effect. It's cause and effect. They're raising the prices everywhere too. You go out, anything you consume, anything you use, it's the ripple down. It's going to be a painful collapse. I'm not, listen, I'm not exaggerating. I'm probably under emphasizing it. And if you remember the food chain reaction game, how when they played that game, they had all kinds of different scenarios, the leaders of the country, when they were playing it, like a big Monopoly game, that would happen simultaneously, and how would they deal with it? They had that inflation up to around 400 some odd % on the food. 400, 500, and it didn't start waning off until after 2025 on that food chain reaction game. Remember that, like a quart of wheat for a day's wages? and 3 quarts of barley for a day's wages. And do not touch the oil or the wine. And if you remember that video yesterday that we did, I've got to be getting out of the house. My life has gotten extremely busy lately, extremely like plumb full. That's why I know. I just know the coming months for me, I'm gonna be extremely busy. Not in a bad way. It's because of everything that's going on in the world. This is not going to be a slow down YouTube channel. No, I gotta get myself in gear. I gotta stay spiritually balanced. What was I saying? A food chain reaction game, higher. They got up into like the 400%, and they added on top of it pandemics, all this other stuff, war, climate crisis. They had a whole basket full of stuff. But they got to bring it all down. They got to collapse it all. And that collapses you. If you think the Great Depression was bad, there is a greater depression. You just might as well call it the Great Collapse. The Great Collapse that's coming. It's already happening. The wheels are turning. There's nothing you can do to stop it because they will have their new world order. They will have it. Oh, somebody got themselves hidden by our Applebrooks honey. They did. That's too bad. You must have been a bad boy or girl or a bad bot. Trying to disrupt the live stream. But see, you don't disrupt me because I don't look at the comments when I've got something to say. I'm just telling you. You're going to feel the ripple effects. And it's just getting started. And if they want to get rid of all the gasoline vehicles, the older vehicles, remember when they had a president who said, turn in all your old cars to the dealership and we will pay you $1,000 or something toward a new car. They subsidized the dealerships, and people were taking in all their older cars, whether they were running or not, and the dealerships would, oh, my nose is starting to itch. The dealership would pay them for it in exchange for a new car. You know what they did with those cars? They smashed them. Smashed the cars. Scrapped them. To get as many off the road. There was incentives to get as many older running vehicles off the road as possible. And when they had that electric stuff coming in, the electric cars and stuff, if you have an older car, it's going to get to the point where your insurance company will not carry insurance on your older car. And you may find yourself getting penalized. You may. For having an older car. This is universal. It's really worldwide. We ain't seen nothing yet, but it's accelerating. It's going to be a painful collapse. And it's going to affect you, even though it's not going to affect me because I don't do this and I don't do that. Do you not think that they haven't thought about those people who don't do this and don't do that? Do you think they're going to let those people who think they're going to escape the long arm of the law to get away with it without being touched? No. They got plans for that type of people. They got plans for when you go to these YouTube channels and you see people, they're telling you they got to get their stuff ready, you're digging up the bunkers, doing some bunkers, you're sustainable, whatever, all of this, and living off the grid and things like that, they'll find they've got ways to get you. And you know, they don't have to watch you either. This is weird because you know what? I rarely ever stand like this with my legs like this. I rarely do. I don't stand like this. Look how I'm standing. This is weird for me. I don't stand like this, but now I'm finding myself standing like this. That's strange for me. Normally, I will stand still and my legs will be like this. I don't stand like that because you know who stand like that. They have ways to get to you. If you think, well, I'm just going to just go off grid, I'm going to hunker down. Oh yeah, they got the UAPs. They got the drones. The drones are going to make sure the people who think they're going to get away with everything, they're going to make sure they're watching them too, and they're going to send the whatever. These drones, what were they say? There something about the earthquakes and the drones. They were going to use the drones. Yeah, they're going to send in the drones. Reminds me of the Clone Wars. They're going to send in the drones when there is an earthquake, and the drones are going to assess the areas. They could send on a swarm of drones and let the officials know the damage that is done so they don't go out in harm's way. The drones, that's how I feel like I got to stand. That's how I feel like I got to stand, so I'm going to stand like that. The drones are going to play an important role in the transformation of the future. Remember the catastrophic mutating event? Remember that? That's going to occur within 2 years. They promised it. They're following through on it. And it was that was that timestamp that they had to meet by 2025, and they were behind schedule to get on par with that in order to get on par with the other ones that they had planned out, their agenda. So it's going to be a painful collapse. When I said that, I looked at the minute on here. It said 22:44. 22 minutes and 44 seconds. I gotta go. I gotta go, you all. I'm late. I'm late. We're going to be very busy on this YouTube channel, and I'm going to come on here, and when I get, let's just say, when Gina gets her spiritual downloads, quit hitting my glasses. When I get those spiritual downloads, because I've got to stay centered. I got to be now I'm standing like this. Now I'm being serious. When I get those spiritual downloads, I'm going to come on here and share it right then and there. We're going to be busy. You got to get yourself spiritually strong on the inside. Get your spiritual self in order, your spiritual house in order, get your physical house in order, get your life in order. Get yourself ready for battle, spiritual warfare. Put on that full armor of God. Get your ducks in a row. Don't panic, and don't stress out. It's going to be a painful collapse, and it's starting, and it's going to accelerate. And in their mind, it's going to be worth the pain in the end. I can look back on my life and some of the things that I've been through that were painful, and I never wanted them to happen when I was going through them. I can look back on my life, I'm speaking for myself, if it wasn't for the pain, the events that took place and caused that pain, if it wasn't for that, I would not have been able to grow into the person that I am now. And you can say the same thing, the hard times of your life that you did not want to have to go through. It made you a better person. It made you stronger today than you were back then. It has. So I'm going to go. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello from my heart to yours. Love you. Have a wonderful rest of your morning. I don't know when I'm going to come back on here. I'm going to be back. I'm going to come back on here today sometime. Thank you for your comments. Thank you, moderators. Should you give in to fear? Absolutely not. Fear is not your master. It's not your master. You don't got to. You don't need to. Love you.